All right, before we get into the next topic, which is part 2 of advanced closing concepts, I wanted to encourage you to do me a favor. What is it? I know you know what it is. It's like the video, comment below, and subscribe to the channel. And hey, if you're feeling playful, share the video. If you find a video in our library, in our playlist, on our channel that you really relate to, post it in one of the Facebook groups. There's about 800,000 freaking insurance Facebook groups. If there's a video you learned something from, that taught you something, that helped you make money, that you related to, that you liked, that you are a fan of, share that video in one of these groups and encourage others to connect with this channel. We're constantly looking for ways to get better, to learn, to grow, and to share what we've learned in the field with you. So now, today's video is part 2 of advanced sales concepts. Like I said in a couple of the descriptions, anyone can close the low-hanging fruit. Really not that complicated. If you have a pulse and a purpose, a will and a why, a license and a carrier contract, anyone can close low-hanging fruit. It's really nothing special. What I'm trying to help you with in part 1 and part 2 is how to close those mid-level and high skill level sales. That's where your income really begins to separate itself. That's where your profitability begins to increase. That's where your confidence level begins to increase. When you can get in and get out of a home and know that was a tough one, but I still freaking got it. So here's a few more tips for today on advanced sales skills number 2. Don't worry about being on time. You know, appointments are nice, but here's the thing. It's final expense, not an airline flight. It doesn't matter if you're 10 minutes late to Miss Betty's. It doesn't matter if you're 20, 30, 40, or 2 freaking hours late. Really, it doesn't matter. If Betty's going to be there, Betty's going to be there. And if she's not, she won't. Worry about the person you're in front of and constantly looking for new opportunities on a regular basis. That's what matters. Your appointments are great. It's an optimized door knocking route, but it's not a reason to rush from one spot to the next if you're sitting in front of a quality prospect. Now, again, an appointment shouldn't be taking longer than an hour, but you have to understand you need to love the one you're with, not rush to the next, and not sit around waiting for an appointment either. I mean, again, this is not a flight. This is a final expense sales day. Don't wait around. Next tip, don't swing at curveballs. If you know anything about baseball, you know I'm a fan of baseball. We have a podcast where we talk about baseball. Here's a good baseball reference. You can step into the batter's box as the batter. You could be facing a pitcher, and that pitcher's desire is to strike you out, get you to ground out. Otherwise, don't get on base. And what do they sometimes do? They start throwing changeups, curveballs, distractionary pitches to throw you off your game, and then they'll eventually throw a fastball right down the middle when you least expect it to strike you out. Your potential final expense client is actually pretty similar. They're going to say things to you that are simply baseball pitches meant to throw you off your game. Things like, oh, I filled this out a really long time ago. Who cares? You're still alive. You still have a pulse. You still have a purpose for me to talk to you. Don't fall for that trap. Don't say those things, but you get what I mean. Next, I didn't fill that out. Yeah, they did. And even if they didn't, it was meant for them and you're there and they're there. Don't get distracted by that. Next, oh, I thought this was about something else. I love that one. They thought it was about something, and they're there and so were you, so don't fall for the trap. Oh, I thought you were going to mail it. Come on. You are not the first agent to show up at their home. This is not the first lead they filled out. They're just throwing these curveballs because they struck out the last agent using that pitch. Next. Oh, I thought you were going to call before you were going to come. No, you didn't. You tried that one and it worked before. I'm not going to call before I come. I'm just going to come. What else? Here's a simple thing. Keep control over the conversation. If you ask the questions and you talk precisely, you're going to keep control. Give them the ball, give them control, you're going to lose the sale. Next tip, don't overthink no. No really doesn't matter. Why they didn't buy really doesn't matter. Unless you had like 20 people tell you no, then we have a problem. But really and truly, no doesn't matter. You need to sit with 15 people, Maybe you'll close 4 to 5 of them in a week at an average skill set. So 10 plus people are going to tell you no. And that's fine. It's okay for them to say no. Doesn't matter why they said no. In fact, collect as many no's as possible, and guess what'll happen? Your production will be so good, you'll be proud of yourself and will forget why they said no. Next, do not prejudge the person you're sitting with. Your job is to give a professional, experienced recommendation as to what they should do. That's it. And if you're sitting with somebody with a pulse, with a bank account, with the ability to purchase something you sell, who you're in rapport with, just offer something. You might not think they need it. You might not think they want it. But if you're there and they can buy it, I mean, you're in sales, for God's sake. At least offer them something. My opinion may not be yours. Respect it either way. But when you're in a home, do not assume they don't want it, they don't need it, they don't see a reason for it. You get what I'm saying. Don't prejudge the situation. Again, to repeat the point, your job is to make an ethical, professional, experienced recommendation as to what you should do in this situation. Let them make the decision at that point. And above all, be passionate, be motivated, and be willing to take them from a point of procrastination to a point of purchase. You are the best agent. You are the best equipped, the best motivated, and the best chance this person has of getting insurance. Believe it and carry that motivation into the home. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a killer day in the field.